Hi guys, 2 games left this season, and for the past 2 weeks, we've been playing the awesome Puzzle Bobble. It's well known that I like a puzzle game, and this one's a good one. Released by Taito in 1994, we've been playing the Neo Geo version that came out 6 months later. The concept is simple, whereby you fire coloured balls from the bottom of the screen to make connections of 3 of the same colour, which causes them to pop. Any balls not attached via a link to the top of the playing area will drop off the bottom of the screen. This mechanic is the key to big scores. Drop 17 balls and you get a 1.3 million bonus. This completely dominates the scoring, so it becomes how to achieve that bonus and trying to do it as often as you can, while still finishing each level without dying. This different way of playing I really enjoyed, as some stage it's easy to get the bonus, whereas others you just have to complete. My best scores are between 10 and 14 million, we're getting to around 25 or 26, but I could regularly do 5 million on the first 3 stages alone. As beyond that, getting the bonuses are trickier. This game got a lot of home versions due to the relative simplicity for 1994 and its relative popularity. I had it on a CD-ROM for Windows when I was growing up. It was probably on my first PC, which was a Pentium 1 with a 166MHz processor. Certainly fond memories there. So a game that I've really enjoyed. A few others have too, but definitely not everyone's cup of tea. Let's take a look at the scores. I've had 15 scores sent to me, which is a slight uptick from last week. Our bottom 4 are those who didn't get on top of the bonus mechanic. Just playing for levels really doesn't yield many points. We then have a few guys, around 4 to 5 million, from Bob through to Milthy, who are beginning to get the technique, but not mastered it yet. Beyond that, most people will have got on top of the scoring, and it's a question of a run coming together. Our top 2 of the overall leaderboard are very close, both getting around 8 million. That's Graham in 5th and Juff in 4th. My Retro Tech has his best finish since Ladybug, with 10 million in 3rd. Robert is in 2nd, for the 2nd time this season, with 12 million. A great effort there. But our winner of Puzzle Bowl is me, with 14 million. I was among those setting the early pace and managed to up my score to this with a decent run. Fortunately, I didn't need to go again after that, and I'm pleased with this win. Here is the distribution of the scores. We have a big difference between our top and bottom, with a 100-fold difference between them, which is pretty unusual. As a result, we have an unusual distribution, with a chunk of guys on the left, a gap of 2 bins before Man Cave in the middle, another gap, and then our top 10 on the right. We have a bit of the expected distribution on the right, but it's bunched up into 3 bins, which masks the gaps within that group. Our top 3 all scored over 10 million, so it's not unreasonable for them to be together. But getting those additional points at the top becomes increasingly tricky. Here is the difficulty curve, and due to the big gap in score between top and bottom, we see a gradual increase early on before a big jump, after which the scores increase somewhat linearly again. The key step in this game is being able to get on top of the scoring mechanic to exploit the big bonuses on offer by dropping lots of balls. Finally, the timings of the scores. We can see lots of people making progress from some of the lower scores up to the higher ranges as they work out how to score big. For the lead, it was me to post the first benchmark. Juffer then briefly led, before Robert then took top spot. He then traded the lead with me and led for a couple of days. Finally, it was me who took the lead on day 5, never to be caught. Although the final gap wasn't that big back to Robert. On this plot, we can see most people having quite a few stabs at the game and improving over the 2 weeks. That's quite nice to see, and I'm sure a few people were enjoying their time with this one. With just 2 games left, let's review the leaderboard. We have a few moves, and it's all in the top 10. Milthy has got ahead of Retro Arcade Challenge for 9th, then Robert is up into 4th with that 2nd place, getting ahead of Mark. It's been close at the top for some time, and the back-to-back wins for Juff in the last 2 games has brought him back into contention for the lead. But with me winning this time, I've leapfrogged both those guys for the top spot, and I'm the first to take 3 wins. I'm now 25 points ahead of Graham and 49 ahead of Juff. With 2 games left, it certainly is still all to play for, so let's see what our next game is. With the letter P done, we're on to Q. This letter has some of the fewest games available, and I've had 10 games sent to me. Cubert's Cubes, Quartet 2 and Quarth all got 2 votes each. My choice was Quarth, so that gets 4 slots out of the 12 after my win on Puzzle Bobble. So let's set the selector going and see what we get. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't think we get around to Quarth. Okay, could it be QB-3? Okay, cool. So, yeah, this is actually a prototype game, I think. It's a kind of twin stick shooter, but you're on a cube, and I think that's where the kind of QB is almost a pun. Yeah, you're on a cube and you move some sort of face-to-face shooting the enemies. Quite a cool one. Hopefully it's not too much of a prototype to work in a high score challenge. We'll see. So yeah, I'll go make a video and be back in a sec. So our penultimate game of the season is QB-3, developed but never released by Rockola in 1982. I don't know the story behind this game not getting released, but it looks like a pretty much finished game. Interestingly, it's a colour vector game, which on an original monitor I'm guessing would look pretty good. But cabs no doubt are extremely rare. This game is a twin stick shooter set on multiple faces of a cube. Gotta love a twin stick game. I've got everything ready to go for building a twin stick controller. Maybe this coming up will give me the impetus to finish it. Either way, I'm glad it's come up. We'll be using the default settings and the QB3.zip ROM. For our next game, please send me one beginning with the letter R. We've previously had R-Type, Robotron, Rescue, Rampage, Rolling Thunder, Rygar, Rainbow Islands, and Raiden. So quite a few on this letter. There are still plenty to choose from though, such as Rally X, R-Type 2 or Leo, one of the Raiden sequels, Radigy, Rodland, or Russian Attack. Any of those would be decent, or anything else you can think of too. So I hope you all enjoy playing some QB3, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with the scores. See you then.